right, welcome back. So, one of the things when I talk to ChatGPT that kind of comes up a lot is stress, right? You know, for any professional in any career, just about stress can be a big issue. So, we came to the conclusion in talking to each other, ChatGPT and I, that accomplishing an 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction course might be one of the most important small incremental steps I can do to further my career. As it is, I've been going for certifications, the NVIDIA cert, the AWS cert, the CCMP, and all that is doing is adding to more stress. For a series of actions that doesn't necessarily guarantee that I actually get the cert. So what I'd like to do instead is to just take a brief 8 weeks here and get through this Mbsr training so that I can make this Kaizen approach small incremental change to my life. So the concept of Kaizen is something I learned from ChatGPT as well. Kaizen is a Japanese business philosophy that focuses on continuous improvement or change for the better. So it's about making small incremental improvements to processes and systems over time. So for myself, a small incremental improvement would be the ability to better handle stress. And that's what MBSR can do. MBSR is not just woo-woo, it's not pseudoscience. It is proven by randomized controlled is proven by scientific research to have specific benefits that can be beneficial for a career. Now, it doesn't have every benefit in the world. It's not proven to do things like prevent burnout. It's not proven to do things outside of the scientific research. But we can see there is a whole section here for scientific research. And there's a whole section on whether or not MBSR is evidence-based. And in summary, yes, it is. And you can look up the meta-analyses on various sites such as PubMed and see for yourself. And they're all cited here that they are science-based and that they do have proven benefits in reducing stress, which is important amongst all aspects of a career. When things are going well, when things are going bad, when you're employed, when you're unemployed, when you're studying for something, when you're teaching something, mentoring. So mindfulness-based techniques or therapy or whatever is a effective treatment for a variety of psychological problems and is especially effective for reducing anxiety, depression, and stress, which is exactly what ChatGPT and I came to the conclusion that we need to make small incremental progress on in the Kaizen approach so that the change compounds and adds up over time. Especially with studying for these certifications, it's just become a source of anxiety, depression, and stress to fail the certification, to feel like I studied for the wrong certification. So I would like a effective treatment for handling that better. Now, I will need to say one more thing before we begin. I hold the identity of a scientist. I'm not. I don't know what it takes to be a scientist. I do not have for example, a position as a professor at a university, a PhD, or a formal title as a scientist. I've held formal titles as engineer before. But even then, I do not have an ABET accredited diploma from an engineering school. So more or less, I would say it is about the identity. But you know, at the same time, it's kind of, you know, network engineering. So, you know, this is a big. This is how I identify myself. I'm a secular humanist skeptic. And a scientist. So a lot of this really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I see this as for what it is. If we look at some figures, for example, Deepak Chopra, and perhaps he's not the only figure that falls into this as well, we can see that they have a history of misuse of scientific. So we see this particular figure, according to the Wikipedia article, has a few quite more than a few eye-raising things in the article, and that could be the case for some of the other things. So I just want to keep that in mind as I read this. Is that when it comes to alternative medicine, when it comes to considering spiritual things that aren't proven in the research, that's where my series will stop. It's going to be about the science. It's going to be about the proven benefits of anxiety and stress and depression reduction, and it's going to be nothing more than that. So although I will be reading articles written by figures such as Deepak Chopra, I will not be endorsing the idea of alternative medicine. And in fact, I will even go I will even perhaps veer a little bit out of bounds, off course with the exact subject matter, to specifically point out some of the problems that are espoused by some of these figures when it comes to the preservation of scientific thought. I believe some of them do have problematic ideas that make it more difficult to maintain and preserve scientific thought in a society. All right, that being said, though, I'm going to stay on topic and not try to cause controversy or but I do have to bring that up, because the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to start this video off, is we're going to read a article by Deepak Chopra. And for the reasons I stated, normally I would not read an article by Deepak Chopra, but we're going to do it as part of this course, and we'll kind of and I'll take care to maintain my scientific identity and point out facts that I feel might be relevant. So anyways, the next reading is 7 Myths of Meditation by Deepak Chopra. And again, Deepak Chopra, I urge everyone to have a skeptical eye. A very successful author, guru, and alternative medicine advocate. However, one not without controversy. All right, so in the past 40 years, meditation has entered the mainstream of modern Western culture and been prescribed by physicians and practiced by everyone from business executives, artists, and scientists to teachers, to students, teachers, military personnel, and on a promising note, politicians. And I'm going to do a sound check. Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan meditates every morning and has become a major advocate of mindfulness and meditation. He describes in his book, A Mindful Nation, how a simple practice can help us reduce stress, improve performance, and recapture the American spirit. Despite the growing popularity of meditation, prevailing misconceptions about the practice are a barrier that prevents many people from trying meditation and receiving its profound benefits for the body, mind, and spirit. Here are 7 of the most common meditation myths dispelled. And one thing I will say too is, as somebody who identifies as a skeptic, I believe that meditation is kind of the perfect con, because you are basically convincing people to pay you to breathe. But anyways, myth number 1, meditation is difficult. The truth: this myth is rooted in the image of meditation as an esoteric practice reserved only for saints, holy men, and spiritual adepts. In reality, when you receive instruction from an experienced, knowledgeable teacher, meditation is easy and fun to learn. The techniques can be as simple as focusing on the breath or silently repeating a mantra. One reason why meditation may seem difficult is that we try too hard to concentrate. We're overly attached to results, or we're not sure we are doing it right. In our experience at the Chopra Center, learning meditation from a qualified teacher, so paying someone to breathe, is the best way to ensure that the process is enjoyable and you get the most from your practice. And I will say that's contradictory advice. If the myth is that meditation is difficult, then learning meditation should not require a qualified teacher. You should be able to learn it on your own. Anything that's not that difficult, you should be able to learn on your own. You were able to learn to tie your shoes, to brush your teeth, not from a qualified teacher, but from your parents. So I will say, when it comes to meditation, I have adopted a little bit of a meditative practice myself. And what I do is go to this video, HRV breathing mode, and we can do a little bit of one together. So all you do is breathe along with it. So in and out. And all through the nose primarily, or preferably. But it's okay to breathe out through the mouth as well, and that should have a more of a calming effect. But what I like to do is to keep this video on and keep listening to this all throughout the day, basically as much as I can. But at the very least, if I can do one cycle of this for 10 minutes, I found that it makes a huge impact, and then it kind of retrains my unconscious breathing so that I just breathe more effectively throughout the day. So I found this to be very useful, and I will say I do think that it's a myth that meditation is difficult. Anyone can learn to do this. Just put it on the video when the triangles are going out. Now you breathe in when they go in. Now you breathe out, and you try to do it all throughout your nose and maintain that pace. And if you want to make it extra hard, you just stare at the dot and try to always keep your focus on the dot. And that will be a little bit difficult, but I just wanted to dispel that notion that you need a qualified teacher. I don't think that's the case, especially not one that you have to pay, especially in the information age where you can get free videos like this one online. Okay, so the best way to ensure that the process is enjoyable and you get the most from your practice. A teacher will help you understand what you're experiencing, move past common roadblocks, and create a nourishing daily practice. So not bad advice. I would just say, don't go broke meditating. Myth number 2, you have to quiet your mind in order to have a successful meditation practice. Truth. This may be the number 1 myth about meditation and is the cause of many people giving up in frustration. Meditation isn't about stopping our thoughts or trying to empty our mind. Both of these approaches only create stress and more noisy internal chatter. We can't stop or control our thoughts, but we can decide how much attention to give them. Although we can't impose quiet on our mind, through meditation we can find the quiet that already exists in the space between our thoughts, sometimes referred to as the gap. This space between thoughts is pure consciousness, pure silence, and pure peace. When we meditate, we use an object of attention, such as our breath, an image, or a mantra, which allows our mind to relax into this silent stream of awareness. When thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, we don't need to judge them or try to push them away. Instead, we gently return our attention to our object of attention. In every meditation, there are moments, even if only microseconds, when the mind dips into the gap and experiences the refreshment of pure awareness. As you meditate on a regular basis, you will spend more and more time in this state of expanded awareness and silence. So yeah, that's true. That's what I found too. And this video really proves that. There's times where you think you're doing good, breathing in as it goes out, breathing out as it goes in. But I found, there's times where I get them mixed up. And I really had to master this over time. It was very hard at first, if not impossible. And then once it started becoming more possible, I would get I'd start breathing out at this point. And it really required some dedication and mastery to really get it right. Be assured that even if it feels like you have been thinking throughout your entire meditation, you are still receiving the benefits of your practice. You haven't failed or wasted your time. When my friend and colleague David Simon taught meditation, he would often tell students, "The thought, 'I'm having thoughts,' may be the most important thought you have ever thought. Because before you had that thought, you may not have even known you were having thoughts. You probably thought you were your thoughts." And that's profound. Like, thank you, Deepak Chopra. Because the goal is to build metacognition, to think about your thoughts. If you're having thoughts that are causing you harm, you only have the chance to change them if you are aware of them. Simply noticing that you are having thoughts is the breakthrough, because it begins to shift your internal reference point from ego mind to witnessing awareness. As you become less identified with your thoughts and stories, you experience greater peace and open to new possibilities. So, for example, a thought that might cause a lot of stress, like for me, I'm failing these certs, I'm wasting all this time on these certs, can be transformed into a thought: I am making slow, steady, incremental progress, and according to the Kaizen approach, I perhaps can make better decisions about what is a small improvement, rather than trying to go all or nothing on things. But if I'm never aware, all I'm doing is hitting that grindstone and not even thinking about what comes next. Or if I can have a better thought, then, it's, open to new possibilities. So, so not bad. All right, myth number 3. It takes years of dedicated practice to receive any benefits from meditation. Truth. The benefits of meditation are both immediate and long-term. And I've found that with this video. I taught my conscious mind how to breathe. And as such, my unconscious mind is now a lot better at breathing. Like, I find myself breathing through my nose with good, with my mouth closed and in a good, rhythm and stuff, and just feeling really good by doing this. My day goes a lot better when I take some time for this in the morning, because all throughout the day, my unconscious breathing has been calibrated by my conscious breathing along to this video. So you can begin to practice benefits the first time you sit down to meditate and in the first few days of daily practice. Many scientific studies provide evidence that meditation has profound effects on the body-mind physiology within just weeks of practice. For example, a landmark study led by Harvard University and Massachusetts General Hospital found that as little of 8 weeks of meditation not only helped people experience decreased anxiety and greater feelings of calm, but it also produced growth in the areas of the brain associated with memory, empathy, sense of self, and stress regularization. So these are the two big ones: stress regularization and memory. For me, I feel like sometimes I have difficulty with memory. So those are the two big ones. At the Chopra Center, we commonly hear from new meditators who are able to sleep soundly for the first time in years after just a few days of daily meditation practice. Other common benefits of meditation include improved concentration, decreased blood pressure, reduced stress and anxiety, and enhanced immune function. You can learn more about the benefits of meditation in a recent post, Why Meditate, on the Chopra Center blog, and we won't read that unless it's part of the course. But we will briefly look at some of these links. So it's not woo-woo science, even if it comes from kind of embattled figures like Deepak Chopra. It's part of a scientific mindset to adopt that Kaizen approach and make small incremental improvements that compound over time. Yeah, but it's important to stick to the science and not stray and do things that are adjacent to that to what is shown in the science and what has evidence, but that does not have the evidence itself. And then be aware that supplements and stuff can contain heavy metals. All right, so myth number 4, meditation is escapism. Truth, the real purpose of meditation isn't to tune out and get away from it all, but to tune in and get in touch with your true self. That eternal aspect of yourself that goes beyond all the ever-changing external circumstances of your life. In meditation, you dive below the mind's churning surface, which tends to be filled with repetitive thoughts about the past and worries about the future, into the still point of pure consciousness. In this state, the transcendent awareness, you let go of all the stories you've been telling yourself about who you are, what is limiting you, and where you fall short. And you experience the truth that your deepest self is infinite and unbounded. And in my juggling practice, I definitely experienced that. My mind is 100% fully occupied in keeping the juggling pattern alive. So there's really nothing else my mind can do. And I find that to be a state of mind that I really needed to get every day. But since the pandemic, my mind has kind of taken over again, and I've stopped practicing. As you practice on a regular basis, you cleanse the windows of perception and your clarity expands. While some people do try to use meditation as a form of escape, as a way to bypass unresolved emotional issues, this approach runs counter to all of the wisdom teachings about meditation and mindfulness. In fact, there are a variety of meditation techniques specifically developed to identify, mobilize, and release stored emotional toxicity. If you are coping with emotional upset or trauma, I recommend that you work with a therapist who can help you safely explore and heal the pain of the past, allowing you to return to your natural state of wholeness and love. And that's a good point. You know, there are different kinds of meditation. There's HRV meditation, which I like. There's body scan meditation. There are different kinds of meditation, and just like Mbsr has proven benefits for reducing anxiety, stress, and depression, different kinds of meditation do different things. So stick to the science. Take a look at the section here. And then search on PubMed. Let's do this. PubMed. Let's do this together because this is really important. And then we're going to do meditation, systematic review. So mindfulness meditation is a particular type of meditation as well. So, you don't have to pay anything. Just do mindfulness meditation, and you can build your own. You can record yourself while walking yourself through it. So here's a 5-minute mindfulness meditation. So there you go. The world is yours. But yeah, we can see the conclusion. While mindfulness meditation improves pain and depression systems and quality of life, additional well-designed, rigorous, large scales to decisively provide estimates of the efficacy. So, it might be only a small benefit, but it's part of the Kaizen approach. If it's a small cost, just 10 minutes in the morning, and it provides a small benefit, that's part of the Kaizen approach. So it's worth doing for sure. Yeah, so we found low evidence of no effect or sufficient evidence of any effect of meditation. So low evidence. So clinicians should be aware that the medication programs can result in small to moderate reductions of multiple negative dimensions of psychological stress. So that's part of the Kaizen approach. It's worth doing to some extent. Clinicians should be prepared to talk with their patients about the role that a meditation program could have in addressing psychological stress. So it's not perfect. It's not a magic bullet, but the science is there. And it could be the case that there are methods that are more effective than others. And then the other thing you got to understand is that systematic review, one of the systematic reviews was for specifically for chronic pain reduction. So, if you don't have severe chronic pain, it might be more effective. Significant chronic pain is a horrific condition. So the fact that it has any positive effect at all is really a wonderful thing. All right, so myth number 5, I don't have enough to meditate. Truth, there are busy, productive executives who have not missed a meditation in 25 years, and if you make meditation a priority, you will do it. If you feel your schedule is too full, remember that even just a few minutes of meditation is better than none. We encourage you not to talk yourself out of meditating because it's just a little bit late or you feel too sleepy. And in fact, if you do a yoga nidra style meditation, it can actually help you fall asleep. That's basically the purpose of it. In life's paradoxical way, when we spend time meditating on a regular basis, we actually have more time. When we meditate, we dip in and out of the timeless, spaceless realm of consciousness. So this is where he perhaps is using scientific terms in a way that is not scientifically valid. The state of pure awareness, that is the source of everything that manifests in the universe. Yeah, so that is a meaningless statement. We've seen the systematic reviews. It can reduce levels of anxiety, depression, and stress, and that's our goal. Our goal is not to enter a pure state of awareness that is the source of everything that manifests in the universe. Our breathing and heart rate slow down, our blood pressure lowers, and our body decreases the production of stress hormones and other chemicals that speed up the aging process and give us the subjective feeling that we are running out of time. And again, our goal is to reduce depression, anxiety, and stress. Our goal is not to reduce our aging chemicals because I'm not sure if there is scientific evidence of that. In meditation, we are in a state of restful alertness that is extremely refreshing for the body and mind. As people stick with their meditation ritual, they notice that they are able to accomplish more while doing less. Instead of struggling so hard to achieve goals, they spend more and more time in the flow, aligned with universal intelligence that orchestrates everything. And I have found it to be the case that when I do that HRV meditation, I do feel like I because my breathing's calibrated, right? I don't know if I'm aligned with the universal intelligence that orchestrates everything, but I think I do definitely have lower levels of stress. And I do have a stress monitor because I've used the Whoop wearable tracker. So I can actually put it to the test and spend the next week meditating and see how much that does reduce my stress readings, if at all. But But the systematic reviews and meta-analyses do show some evidence, perhaps not a lot, but a small incremental improvement in the Kaizen philosophy approach that it can reduce depression, anxiety, and stress, which is my goal. Myth number 6, meditation requires spiritual or religious beliefs. Truth, meditation is a practice that takes us beyond the noisy chatter of the mind into stillness and silence. It doesn't require a specific spiritual belief, and many people of many different religions practice meditation without any conflict with their current religious beliefs. Some meditators have no particular religious beliefs or are atheist or agnostic. They meditate in order to experience inner quiet and the numerous physical and mental health benefits of the practice, including lowered blood pressure, stress reduction, and restful sleep. And I think lowered blood pressure is something that's proven. We'll have to look into it further, but stress reduction we've definitely seen in those studies. The original reason that I started meditating was to help myself stop smoking. Meditation helps us enrich our lives. It enables us to enjoy whatever we do in our lives more fully and happily, whether that is playing sports, taking care of our children, or advancing in our career. Myth 7. I am supposed to have transcendent experiences in meditation. Truth. Some people are disappointed when they don't experience visions, see colors, levitate, hear a choir of angels, or glimpse enlightenment when they meditate. Although we have a variety of wonderful experiences when we meditate, including feelings of bliss and oneness, these aren't the purpose of the practice. The real benefits of meditation are what happens in the other hours of the day when we're going about our daily lives. When we emerge from our meditation session, we carry some of the stillness and silence of our practice with us, allowing us to be more creative, compassionate, centered, and loving to ourselves and everyone we encounter. As you begin or continue your meditation journey, here are some of the other guidelines that may help you on your way. Have no expectations. Sometimes the mind is too active to settle down. Sometimes it's settled down immediately. Sometimes it goes quiet, but the person doesn't notice. Anything can happen. Be easy with yourself. Meditation isn't about getting it right or wrong. It's about letting your mind find its true nature. Don't stick with meditation techniques that aren't leading to inner silence. Find a technique that resonates with you. There are many kinds of mantra meditation, including the primordial sound meditation practice taught at the Chopra Center. Or simply follow the in and out of your breathing, not paying attention to your thoughts at all. So that's more the HRV style meditation, which I find to be very effective. The mind wants to find its source in silence. Give it a chance by letting go. Make sure you are alone in a quiet place to meditate. Unplug the phone. Make sure no one is going to disturb you. Really be there. If your attention is somewhere else, thinking about your next appointment, errand, or meal, of course you won't find silence. To meditate, your attention must be clear and free of other obligations. And I will say one thing you might want to do is if you do have an appointment, just set a reminder for it. Make sure you have an alarm set, and then you don't have to worry about missing it. I know the way my mind works, sometimes I can get really deep into something. Although sometimes I can get so deep into something that even if the alarm goes off, I'll just ignore the alarm. So, but it's a small thing you can do to try to feel better about it. So there we go. That was from the controversial Deepak Chopra. I will say, be careful not to spend more than you can afford. I would say be careful not to spend anything to be convinced that you need to even get an app for it. I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's the perfect con to somebody sell you breathing. Just do it. Do that free video on YouTube, and you might get some benefits. The other thing I would like to say about it is do have expectations, I would say. Expect that it does give you those benefits in stress, depression, and anxiety. And I think it probably would lower blood pressure too. So I would say do have some expectations in that regard. If it's not working, and you really gave it a good faith effort, then yeah, I think you can give it up. You don't need to go to the Chopra Center and pay more. You don't need to invest more time into it. Have those expectations because they are supported by a lot of evidence. And if you get that benefit, amazing. Keep up your practice. Do it when you need it. That's what I do. Since I've mastered that HRV meditation, I just kind of do it when I need it. I don't really do it obsessively every day. But if you're not getting the benefits from it after a long time, perhaps there is something better to do with that time. In my opinion, if you do like a body weight workout, that'll be much more effective than meditation. All right, so the next one is why we find it so hard to meditate, and this is by the Mindful staff. So this is kind of it's not that long. I feel like I might be able to get through it. I'm at the 33 mark right now, and it's kind of late in the day. Let's see how long the one afterwards is. The one afterwards is kind of short as well. So I would like to try to get through both. But I feel like I would be pushing myself a bit too hard. I kind of hyped up the fact that, reading Deepak Chopra was something I wouldn't do otherwise, and something that I kind of feel a little bit like I would rather not have that perspective. But I feel better about that. I feel like he made some decent points. We did see some of that scientific words were not used correctly, and the evidence was kind of left behind in favor of things that aren't unfalsifiable claims. But more or less, the article made a decent point that it perhaps is worth devoting some time to meditation each day if you are getting those benefits that there's a lot of evidence for in the scientific research. So with that being said, I think I am going to stop it here, and then in the next video we'll move on to and finish up the reading. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.